One of our small towns in the Pocono Mountains, Delaware Water Gap, is lined with unique shops and eateries. It's also close to the Appalachian Trail and Delaware River for recreation. Just down the road, there's a hidden gem that really gives you an appreciation for this area and shows what tourism looked like in this part of the Poconos over a century ago. Come along.
This would have been the 1968-69 school year.
Joan Paulus remembers when her daughter was a student at this schoolhouse, which served first through fourth graders from Delaware Water Gap for 99 years.
They'd go home for lunch, they'd walk home for lunch and come back then after lunch. And so it was very much a community-minded school.
When the schoolhouse eventually closed, the borough of Delaware Water Gap saved the building from possible demolition. Joan was part of the original team that decided this should remain a place of learning through donated artifacts instead of textbooks. Soon after, the Antoine Dutot Museum and Gallery was born, named after the borough's founder.
Even you don't have to live here or attend here to really enjoy what this has to offer. It really is a glimpse on an earlier time.
While today's Pocono resorts include slides, slots, and spas, the booming resort scene in Delaware Water Gap was once much simpler, although modern for the times.
The biggest hotels, the Water Gap and the Kittatinny in particular, they had all the top-of-the-line conveniences around 1910, running water, private bathrooms, they had telegraph. They really had some top-of-the-line features that you would find, in bigger cities.
Following the Civil War, Delaware Water Gap became the country's second most popular inland tourist destination, thanks to the train and trolley and close proximity to New York and Philadelphia. Vacationers traded their crowded cities for the clean mountain air. Between 1870 and 1920, they had about 50 different hotel and inn options.
There were people who would actually live in a tent in their yard and rent out their house because they were going to make a good deal of money over the summer, and so it was kind of the forerunner of the Airbnb.
A famous destination with famous guests, including Chick Young, creator of the Blondie comic strip. He mailed these original Christmas cards to one of the resorts where he spent summers with his family. This ledger shows actresses such as Katharine Hepburn and Bette Davis checked into that same resort for a girls' weekend, while Fred Astaire and his sister, even President Roosevelt, are pictured enjoying the local scenery.
And further up in Shawnee, Jackie Gleason was up there, Lucille Ball, and some others.
While most of the original hotels and inns no longer exist, the Castle Inn does. You can visit the restored ice cream emporium, take a guided walking tour.
I'll be your Pocono tour guide today.
Or board the trolley for a ride down History Lane. Back at the Antoine Dutot, there's also a thriving art gallery featuring local artists. Jack and Jill Swersey recently rented the space for their Cars and Guitars show.
I don't know, there's just something about the vibe here that feels right.
After lunch, we read a book, and then she came back to school for the afternoon.
Although Joan's daughter only attended first grade here before the schoolhouse closed, she's thankful class is still in session.
A lot of people are interested in what went on here many years ago.
And that's just a sneak peek at all the stories you'll learn about inside the Antoine Dutot, open seasonally May through October, weekends or by special appointment. A $2 donation is requested so history can continue living on. With the Pocono Television Network, I'm Brianna Strunk.